Vastu says a defective northeast in your home can affect your head, your liver, even your sleep. That's a bold claim. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to actually identify a northeast defect, what the tradition says it does to your body, and then we are going to honestly ask, is there any real link, or is this just symbolism? Quick note before we start, everything here is a traditional belief system, not medical advice. I'll flag that again where it matters. First, what actually counts as a defect here? The most commonly cited ones, a toilet or staircase sitting in the northeast corner. A kitchen placed there. Heavy structural elements, beams, pillars, bulky storage, weighing down a zone that's supposed to stay light and open. Or the corner being cut off, extended irregularly, or blocked by construction. The underlying idea, northeast is supposed to be the lightest, most open, most safe zone in the whole plot. Anything that makes it heavy, closed, or functionally dirty, like a toilet, is read as a defect. Here's where the health claim comes from. In the Vastu Purusha mandala, the cosmic figure the whole plot is symbolically mapped onto, the head is positioned at the northeast. That's the literal root of why this corner gets tied to the head, brain, and mental clarity. Layer on top of that, northeast is Jupiter's direction. Jupiter, in the parallel astrological system, governs the liver and overall vitality. And northeast's element is water, which traditionally maps to kidneys and fluid balance. So the traditional cluster is head and mental fog, liver and sluggishness, kidneys and fluid regulation, disrupted sleep, low vitality overall. To be clear, in plain terms, this is a traditional belief system describing symbolic correspondences. It's not a diagnosis, and it's not telling you what's actually wrong with your body. Now the honest part. Is this real? Two things can both be true here. 1. This is a coherent, internally consistent symbolic system. The head at northeast placement, the Jupiter correspondence, the water element link, they all logically connect to each other within the tradition. It's not random. 2. There is no scientific evidence that a toilet's location in your house affects your liver function, or that a staircase in the northeast causes headaches. These are traditional, symbolic correspondences passed down through a specific cultural framework, not medical findings, and not something that's been tested the way a health claim normally would be. What is worth taking seriously, separately, some of the practical advice that comes out of Vastu happens to overlap with genuinely sound design principles. A cluttered, dark, poorly ventilated corner of a house, regardless of which direction it faces, can plausibly affect mood, sleep, and how heavy a space feels to live in. So if fixing your defective NE means decluttering, improving light, and opening up a cramped corner, you may feel a real difference, just not because of the direction. It's because clutter and poor light do have documented effects on well-being, and Vastu's structural remedies often happen to produce that outcome anyway. One more thing worth correcting before we move on, because this is where a lot of people get frustrated with Vastu and give up on it too early. Nobody in this tradition claims you fix your northeast on a Monday and feel different by Wednesday. The effects, to the extent the tradition claims them at all, are described as building gradually, in waves, not as a light switch. Think of it less like taking medicine and more like changing your diet. The shift is cumulative, and it compounds over weeks and months, not hours. Some practitioners tie the pace of that unfolding to the same timing layers used elsewhere in Vedic frameworks, planetary transits, dosha periods, the idea being that a structural fix primes the space, but the actual planetary window still has to activate it. That's also why traditional guidance often pairs a Vastu correction with waiting through at least one full transit cycle of the relevant planet. For Jupiter, that's roughly a year, since Jupiter transits one zodiac sign for about 12 to 13 months, before evaluating whether anything shifted. Practically, If you fix a defective northeast, don't expect to journal a before/after in a week and call it disproven. The honest claim, even within the tradition, is a slow, cumulative effect, and that's actually worth flagging on its own terms, because a slow, diffuse effect is exactly the kind of claim that's hard to confirm or debunk quickly. Worth sitting with, separate from whether you believe the mechanism. So here's how I'd use this, practically, and let me say this part as plainly as I can: none of this replaces seeing a doctor. Treat the organ correspondences as part of a symbolic map worth understanding if you're working within this tradition, not as a diagnosis. If you're having actual headaches, liver issues, or sleep problems, that's a doctor conversation, full stop, regardless of what your floor plan looks like. But if your northeast corner is dark, cluttered, or boxed in, opening it up is worth doing anyway, for reasons that don't require believing in the symbolic layer at all. And whichever lens you're using, give it real time before judging the result. Two systems, two different kinds of truth, one symbolic, one physical, and neither one works on a same-day timeline. Know which one you're standing in before you act on either, and give it the months it actually needs. Is your northeast corner clear, or is something sitting there it shouldn't be? Tell me in the comments.